Move differently and you will see different results. That is my best advice I can give you with this. If I was to give you the ultimate reset, I want to bring in the alignment protocol first of all, because I do think this is the ultimate reset. So in my new book, Aligned Abundance, I teach the alignment protocol of how you can determine whether you're in or out of alignment. Now, if you're feeling in alignment, things are going to be flowing. They're going to feel good, uplifting. You're going to be receiving abundance. Things are just going to feel good. They're going to be flowing. When you're out of alignment with something, you start hitting blocks. Things feel rigid, they're not moving, you're trying all these different things, throwing everything into the ring. But whatever you're doing, whatever you're trying, you're just getting no's, rejections, doors closing, you're not understanding, like, I'm doing all this stuff, why is it not working? You're getting more frustrated, you're trying more things to end up in a frustrated heap of, what am I doing wrong? What is happening here? I feel like a mess. I don't know what to do. And I just feel like whatever I'm doing is not working. Follow these 3 steps first of all. Stop. If it was in alignment, it would be flowing. So if whatever you're doing, stop. And I want to share the sum here that I share in the book of intention plus action equals result. So if you want a different result, you need a different intention or a different action. It doesn't always have to be a different intention, but it definitely needs to be a different action, because what you're trying, old ways won't open new doors, right? So stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. Stop your daily practice. Stop whatever is feeling out of alignment or what you need the reset with. And then you're going to reset. So reset the energy. That could be energetically, it could be physical, it could be emotionally reset the energy of doing some inner work, for example, if you're recognizing that some limiting beliefs or fears or doubts are coming up. It could be physically resetting. You're doing too many things, you've got too many things on your plate and you need to take those things away. It could be energetically resetting, where you're looking at your energy, you're doing some energy work, aura work, clearing your energy field, maybe some past life work. Like maybe there is something not working energetically. And a lot of the time there is something energetic going on, because those physical blocks do manifest in energy as well. But I'm just trying to give you a broad kind of explanation of energetic blocks as well. So reset the energy, do something differently, change the sum, and create new doors. And to give you a really good example of this, I did this with my book proposal for Aligned Abundance, ironically, where I was getting no's, doors closed. And I was like, what the heck? I have just gone on this weird, wonderful ride for a whole year. I followed my intuition, followed the universe to have every door slammed in my face. And now you're still telling me to push forward with this book, universe, with absolutely 0 options of how this is going to happen. Okay. So I went back to my proposal. I realized that my power lied in my energy. I was thinking my power lied externally with the publishers, with, the people making the decisions, right? Whereas I was like, you need to reset yourself. Live the teachings of this book, Emma. So I went back and I reset the whole proposal. I up-leveled it. It was a year old at that time. So you can imagine all the lessons, up-levelings, energy that I now had. I transformed. I deleted 15,000 words of that book. Scariest day of my life, I'm not going to lie, because I was like, what if I like them? What if they were good? So deleted 15,000 words and rewrote, obviously, those 15,000 words of the new energy, of the new theme. And I looked at that proposal and I was like, this is your best work yet. This is your best work yet, bitch. Like, this is so good. Like, this is aligned abundance. So I know that had to happen for me to have that moment, for me to be like, bam, here's the best book ever. And as you'll know from reading the book, or maybe you've heard me share this on this podcast before, within 2 freaking weeks after that, my publisher who's published all my books, Watkins, came back and said, oh yeah, you know that book you pitched to us last year? We actually really want to look into this. Send us your proposal again. And I was like, here's my new proposal. And I literally had the book deal within 2 weeks, which is so unheard of just because of how much time it takes and decisions and costings and stuff. Like, it's a process. So I was like, look at that aligned abundance. When I reset the energy, when I realigned with the energy of the book and what it was meant to be, look how effortless that was. Look how magnetic that was. That is aligned abundance. So I share that example with you just because of how powerful, and this was the first example of my life of those teachings of the book. So then when I wrote the book, I had all this experience and I was then like, I get it. I get what this energy is. I get what the teaching is. So reset. Something in your book proposal, in your energy, in you needs to be realigned. So I realigned with my book so it matched my energy. So it matched who I was there and then to become that energetic embodiment of who I was meant to be, of the version of myself who wrote Aligned Abundance, right? So reset the energy. Think about the version of you who has that desire. What are they doing? What are they wearing? How are they feeling? Who are they hanging out with? What are their emotions? What are their daily worries? What is that version of yourself worrying about on a daily basis? And you become that energetic frequency. You become that embodiment of it. And boom, like magic, that aligned abundance has to happen. So reset the energy, do something differently, move in a different way. Even if there's not something huge you can do as an action, like me rewriting the book proposal, you might think, actually, there's not really an action I can take here. Move differently. Maybe that's your energetic embodiment. Maybe that's how you show up to the situation, how you show up to life, to the universe about this situation. Move differently and you will see different results. That is my best advice I can give you with this. Third step is realign. And that's that realignment process where things start to shift, where you move in those different ways and you're seeing those shifts come into your life. You're feeling the magneticness. You're feeling that aligned abundance almost ping at you like an elastic band. And I really want to give this analogy because it does feel like that. Honestly, it does. You may make decisions in your life where you're like, oh my God, is this the right decision to make? Is this an alignment? But you just know your intuition is telling you to do something, even if you have absolutely no reason why or understanding of why. And when we make those aligned decisions, it's almost like an elastic band where it's like, boom. And instantly you align with that timeline, you align with that abundance because you've aligned yourself with that version of yourself who's making aligned decisions, and you're listening to your intuition, you're listening to your soul's calling and aligning with those soul desires. So it can come at you quick when you get yourself into alignment, when you get yourself into that new energy, new frequency, and move differently.